Today's episode is brought to you by Speculative Fiction Collectibles, also known as Spec Fiction Collectibles. You can find them on Facebook or check out their website and see all their pre-orders and everything they have in stock. I'll include a link in the description below. Their customer service is amazing, and I've really enjoyed using this company for ordering my statues. Yo, welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are getting into this quarter scale premium format Lobo by SideShow Collectibles. As you can see, we're starting off with the base, and the base just has this crazy motorcycle theme that goes with his motorcycle spaceship that I just love so much. So as you can see, his body is just this one large piece, so the torso, the legs are all one. And this thing is just absolutely covered in mixed media. There's just leather and all different kinds of stuff. We're going to go into that in a little bit. As you can see, we got that severed head to kind of go into that hole down there, so that keys right in. The necklace slips over the neck, and we are going to go ahead and wrap his chain, his very iconic hook chain weapon here. So get this wrapped around his wrist. The chain is the perfect proportions, and the weight of it, the way it moves, all of that really brings this piece to the next level, and this thing really is like so incredible. I'm just finishing getting this chain on his wrist, getting it connected. The chain keys into the hook in his right hand. And here is his rifle that goes in his left hand. This thing has so much crazy detail in it, and we're gonna get really up close to everything in just a little bit, but you can see how smooth that goes in. Now you can tell that this is a older Sideshow piece because it actually had those little I guess wires that go into the keyed holes in the wrist instead of like an actual key or a square key as we're used to seeing. And those are the two different portraits. I stick with this one because it kind of brings you back to the 90s a little bit more. But this is the regular version. This isn't the EX. The EX basically just comes with him holding a flaming skull, which to be honest, I just would not display that. So I didn't really need that personally. I love the hook in his hand. But yeah, we can see all of how much presence this guy has standing on the base. It doesn't take up a huge footprint. To me, this is like one of the most me statues there are. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It's not humongous. There's detail all over the place. So as you can see, the dolphins on the thrusters of all the motorcycle parts on the base. I love those little Easter eggs that they splash in there. We all know how he feels about his dolphins and other animals in that regard. So don't mess with the dolphins, you don't mess with Lobo. And yeah, I just really love what they did with all the texture, and there are some really cool subtle colors in the base that you'll see when we get up on it. But all of this is mixed media. This is leather, or like a fake leather. The brown straps are actual leather. Now the holsters holding his weapons are sculpted. That's all hard pieces. The ammo packs around his waist are all sculpted. But yeah, it's like a nylon belt with an actual buckle that actually functions, and all the skulls and all that stuff are all resin. His jacket, or his vest rather, is probably my favorite part. The back patch, the way it's faded and the different texture, looks like it's printed on canvas. All of that is just the zippers, his necklace, all of this brings this thing to such an insane level. And I knew this piece would be cool. I mean, it looked awesome in photos, but in person, it just does so much more. I love the threaded pieces on the back tails of his vest there. I actually had to like lace those up like a shoe and give them a tie. And but I actually just really loved it. Now this is the other portrait. This gives a real like Rob Zombie feel to me. And the other portrait with the shorter hair and the wild expression just brings me back to the Lobo that like I remember seeing as a kid and how just wild he is. But I'm not a huge fan of the dreads. I think they look good draped around him. Everything fits good. The loose hairs from the dreads, all that's awesome. But I'm definitely more keen to the other portrait. It's just a little bit more Lobo to me, I think. So as you can see, some of the splattering, as you can, of like the oil stains or something like that going on in the base, such texture overload. It's absolutely amazing. There's the little dolphin Easter egg we had talked about, which I really like. But again, just the paint on the base for it just being like a dirty textured gunmetal and concrete. They really did a lot by like bringing in, there's like some blues in there, there's some like rust going on. So in person, this thing actually just like shines really, really hard. The bullet casings really set off on that dark kind of asphalt, all the detail in the boot. And that's the severed head that goes in. Now you can pull that out, and sold separately was his actual dog, named dog. It's just a big pit bull, or a bulldog rather, not a pit bull at all. But as you can see, there's the keyed hole. So he would go right in there and sit between Lobo's legs, or he had his own base too. So that's what it looks like without the skull head. So all of these straps on his boots are mixed media. So that's real leather. It almost feels like suede kind of, but just looks really, really good. I couldn't help but to like touch each one and make sure they all move. And it's these little details on this that when they all come together make this piece like actually something else. Look at the cracks in the leather. That's all sculpted. So that's sculpted cracks in the leather where his heel would bend. This is the skulls on his knee guards with the splattered rust effect. I mean, just like the paint, the sculpt, this is starting to be one of my favorite pieces. The holster, just texture crazy, all the battle damage, it's not too much. It's like just what I would think a life-size and realistic Lobo would look. I love the skulls on these ammo pouches, just absolutely amazing. All the little nuts and bolts, like the little Phillips head screwdriver head bolts are just absolutely fantastic. And there's the lacing going down his jeans, and nice crotch shot of Lobo here. He'd probably have it no other way, to be honest. But yeah, the anatomy on this thing's incredible. They didn't go too wild on the paint on his skin, which is cool. You know, the shadowing is kind of perfect. You know, I always wish there's like more freckling and stuff going on, but that's just how I paint skin. So, you know, of course I kind of look for that, but here's all the weathering on his hands, and, you know, the leather on his hand is actually sculpted, all of that sculpted, but the chain is mixed media. So it's a perfect balance. I typically don't go for mixed media like a whole lot on statues. I kind of want everything sculpted, but this is a prime example of how to do it right and just how incredible it actually can be when it all comes together. The faded Bite Me Fanboy logo on the back is insane with that thick kind of canvas back patch material. If anybody has gotten a back patch from an old punk show or a metal show, we all know that that's what they feel like, that's what they fade like. And more of that mixed media twine holding his jacket together. The zippers are just like very proportional, very sharp. They're almost like chrome, or so shiny. And yeah, there his right hand just holding that iconic hook blade that we all love so much. Very, very cool. And the rifle. This is probably one of my favorite parts on the piece. So I love the wooden stock that at the shoulder with the tally marks from the kills. Just little details like that. Again, just all those bolts. The Phillips head, you know, bolts on everything. I kind of like that. It kind of gives a uniformity. And there's the main man himself. That just like awesome portrait with that wild makeup. And of course his mixed media necklace, the iconic necklace. Here's the flow of his hair. I mean, it just doesn't get any more 90s and badass than this. He just definitely looks like an immortal, you know, rock warrior from hell. And I love it. You know, I know he's not from hell, but, you know, he got out of there anyway. But hell can't even stop this guy. And you can tell they really did such a good job. And the paint is so clean on the hair. Absolutely love it. And the teeth, man, just like the wetness and the grime on those yelly, funky teeth, and you just really believe the character and the stories that this guy has. They captured everything in the hair, and just the hairline meeting the forehead just looks super clean. Here's that long hair, dreaded Rob Zombie vibe, cigar and mouth portrait. It's super cool. I like the attitude it has. I'm not crazy about the paint on the dreads. They almost look kind of metal to me, not really like hair. They probably just, I don't know. It's gray, but it almost has like a metallic shine to me a little bit, depending on the lighting. So I'm not crazy about this one. I know a lot of people are. It's awesome. The sculpt's great, but it doesn't give me that kind of wild, I'm gonna bite your face off and make your blood pour all over the place portrait like the other one did. That one just brings me back to being a kid and just really wanting to know more about this character. But all in all, I just absolutely love this piece. The thing is so iconic and so badass. I get the hype now. I've heard about this piece for a long time. I know there's a lot of new Lobo pieces out there. If you like this video, go ahead and click that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, click the notification bell so you can keep up with all the new videos coming out because we have plenty. We have so many that I'm ready to release. Here's a top view so you can see the top part of this secondary portrait. Again, the hair looks great. It really is awesome. I just probably would have painted it a little differently. That's just kind of my own opinion. So yeah. And this is a shot of it in the collection. I went ahead and snagged the Lobo #1 to put next to him. I just think it looks absolutely phenomenal. Once again, thanks again, Spec Fiction. You guys are awesome. And thanks to all the viewers. Be sure to stick around for more videos and more unboxings we have coming. We have so many things on pre-order, and they're going to start coming way more regularly. So keep on collecting, and we'll catch you next time.